What's good, Blood Fam? I love that you look up every time.
I don't know.
How are we doing?
Trying to find some flair for the drama there, for that glorious vocal introduction that you come up with.
I like to be loud and proud, so everybody knows that Alex is here.
Said like a true spoiled brat.
That was rude, first of all. And second of all, fine, I'll just pick the Panthers this week.
Please do.
Welcome back to another Wednesday, which means it's another week. Well, actually, we're back on schedule this week, but since last week was a little bit mixed up and we were here on Friday doing this, we're going to be picking every game in week 4. Last week, I went 7-9, and you went 9-7, which I know you're probably not happy about that, but mine's pretty bad. But my record for the year is 24-24, so I haven't fallen below 500 yet. So I can't be too upset with myself. You're sitting at 27-21 for the season. You're crushing it, boo-boo. You're crushing it.
Not yet. The first 3 and 4 weeks are always the worst, right?
Yes.
It takes time to get settled in.
Well, week 1. So this year was a little different. Week 1 was not all that chaotic. And then week 2, it was like pounding us all into the earth. And so, yeah, it was backwards. And so then week 3, then because of it being backwards, we went into week 3 a little confused.
A little. I've always been a little confused, not gonna lie.
I mean, I'm always confused too, but this year has started off and on a different pace than every other year we've done this. So I'll take my 7-9 for week 3 because, like I said, we were a little confused. And, we didn't know what the Saints were going to do. We didn't know, there was a couple toss-up games like the Lions and Cardinals. There's a couple things that we'd like to get back. We would have liked, your team to have won last week. There was a couple chinks in the armor for us picking. And so it's week 4. I think this is time for me to get my head on straight. And, there's one matchup on here, which when it gets down to the bottom of it, I don't really give 2 craps about this said game, but I've got a lot to say about this said game. So I can't wait to get into it. If you haven't already, be sure to jump into our CBS pool because even if you're late, you can still compete weekly against us. And if you might not win for the whole year, but it could be fun. It gets you entered in for next season. We also do March Madness, which is creeping up. So if you get in this way, I think they all kind of go together. Either way, be sure to check out if you haven't already. Shout out to Rob right now. He's actually in the chat with us in first place with, I think, 32 correct thus far. And so we need someone to dethrone this guy.
Yes, we need to kick Rob's butt.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I need to get my act together, and that starts this week. Then don't call it a comeback. I think I'm sitting at 24 or 27, so I'm not out, or I'm at 24. I just said that a minute ago. You're at 27, but we got to do it. Also, check out our socials down below in the description. And if you're interested in any of those platforms, we're doing our best to keep them more updated as this season goes along. And then subscribe. We're 26 away from 2,500. So tell all your friends and help us hit that cool little milestone.
2,500 is a cool milestone.
It is a cool milestone. It marks us officially halfway to 5K, and I didn't think we'd ever be halfway to 5K, so I'm happy to be here and Yeah, we appreciate you guys very much. But how about this? Let's get into some week 4 picks, predictions, and all that good jazz.
Let's do it. I'm ready to rock. I'm making my picks right now, in case you were wondering.
Well, I mean, you can just do it as we go, so you don't have to be locked in. And I feel like I'm talking to a wall.
It's all good. Let's do it.
It's all good for you. I'm anxious over talking because I don't know what to do. Starting off Thursday night football. Listen, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. We got the Cowboys heading to the Giants. I'm gonna take the Cowboys, but something tells me if there ever gonna be a time the Giants could upset. And I'm going to be actively 100% rooting for the upset. I just don't see the Cowboys losing 3 in a row. I also don't believe this game should be a primetime ball game, and therefore I could care less about it. So we'll all suffer together tomorrow night through this, whatever this is going to be. It could be 50-3, or it could be stupid close for no reason. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just taking the Cowboys because it feels right, but it's the way things have gone lately. And by lately, I mean since Eli Manning, the Cowboys just stomped the Giants, and they need to stop putting it on prime time. But the Cowboys are kind of vulnerable right now, sitting at 1-2, 2 back-to-back losses. Now they're going on the road. Both of those losses come at home, I believe. And it just feels like bait to try to take the Giants. I'm not going to do it, but I am actively rooting for the Giants in this one.
Yeah, good call there. I mean, I'm actively rooting for the Giants as well, praying for the upset, but
yeah, go ahead. Let's hear it. Hear what you got to add to that.
But Dallas has a tendency to play very well within their own division. Probably the main reason why they always have a decent record at the end of the year. I don't think going on the road to the Giants is going to upset that balance much. As bad as they've played, I think they're going to win most of their divisional games. Give me the Cowboys on the road, but I'm praying for the G-men to get the dub.
You know what? They did exactly what I thought they'd do last week. I said they have no business going into Cleveland and winning, right? But I didn't have the courage to pick them last week, and they did it, right? They went in there and did everything I knew that they could do. They do have an emerging star in Malik Neighbors. That's why they drafted him so high. Daniel Jones didn't look so bad in this one. And yeah, we can talk about the offense for the Browns just sucking. Yeah, but right now the Cowboys kind of sucking too. And so there is always a chance any given Sunday, in this case Thursday, that the Giants get the win at home here. But this isn't going to be the only time I say this tonight. If the Giants are able to win this game, I'll start to believe in them a little bit. And maybe I'll be more likely to pick them going forth. I haven't picked them once this year, for good reason. But it's just like the Saints. Last week, I said, I'm going to pick them until they prove me wrong, which they did, right? And so I feel like we're going to have a similar type conversation over a couple of these games today, a couple of these weaker teams or hotter teams. And so I just can't believe in them until I see it. And I'm okay with taking the L if I get it wrong. Moving on to our first Sunday game. This is honestly a really good matchup. We've got the New Orleans Saints coming off a tough loss to the Eagles, heading to take on the Falcons, coming off a tough loss against the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. I'll let you go ahead and go first.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know which way you're kind of leaning. So I'm going to lean back the other. I saw a lot of improvement in the Falcons against Kansas City the other day. And I saw a lot of the Derek Carr that I don't like in the Saints game. I believe in the Falcons. I still think they can go 12-5. Give me the Dirty Birds at home.
I sat on this one a little bit, and we're getting into that time of the year where we're going to see a lot of divisional matchups, and you just really don't know because it doesn't matter who's the better team. Except for typically Cowboys and Giants matchup. That's the only one that ever feels like a lock. Except for this week, it doesn't. Like everybody else, it's just like, yeah, you're the better team, but you might come out and act like you've never played football, right? In a divisional matchup. These teams know you better than anybody else. And but I'm with you here. The Falcons looked really good against Kansas City. And it all was built off the last couple minutes versus the Eagles the week before. I think they're going to continue to build. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Saints here. And I do think they can come into Atlanta and steal a win. But preseason, I kind of had, excluding the Panthers because we had no idea, but I kind of had everybody splitting games in this division against each other. And so that's why I'm leaning towards Atlanta on this one. And I feel the same way now as I did preseason, except for both teams look better now than I thought they were going to when I said it in preseason. So I'm going to agree with you here and take the Falcons also.
Let's go.
I know that probably surprised you a little bit. I personally would rather see the Saints win because I got a lot of guys on that team that I really enjoy. But there's a lot of guys on that Atlanta team that I also really enjoy.
Yep.
Moving on, let's go ahead and get this one over with. We got your boys heading to Carolina to take on their former GOAT and Andy Dalton. I'm going to go ahead so you can have the mic, but I'm going to take Cincinnati here on the road. They looked really good against the Commanders offensively, and the week before, they looked pretty whole against Kansas City. I know they're sitting at 0-3, but you said it, I said it, Joe Burrow said it, like a lot of people have said it. If there's any team I feel as if they can start 0-3 and still make something out of their season, this is the team in the league right now to do it. And so do I think Andy Dalton could come in and smack them around if their defense played like they did last week? But Andy Dalton is not the same type of quarterback as Jaden Daniels. He doesn't require the same types of pressure. He does not have the same types of mobility. I think, it's going to be a little bit easier to get after the quarterback in this game. And so I think that gives the edge to the Cincinnati defense who was a little slow. In I don't even know if slow is the right word I want to use, but they didn't look as good as I know they can be against the Commanders. And so I think this is a bounce back week. And this is me officially saying this. This is the last I've picked them every week this year. This is the last time I'm picking them because I really do feel like the Panthers can win, but I just don't see the Bengals starting 0-4. And here you go. You can have the mic.
I love your reasoning. Yeah, I said this the other day, and Washington's offense played the perfect game.
Excuse me, I didn't pick them in week 2, but other than that, I picked them every other week.
Washington's offense played the perfect game the other day. They put up 38 points, and they still almost lost the game. Cincinnati didn't play a perfect game and was that close to beating the Comanches. The game against Kansas City was really telling. I think it was more so what they're capable of and what their team actually looks like against a pocket passer that with a little bit of mobility. And I really like the way their defense lines up against Andy. I think the Panthers have a lot of good pieces, and I was glad to see Andy Dalton get the win. And if he gets the win this Sunday, I'm not going to be mad. But
if he gets the win this Sunday, they truly earn it. Like, I know it's in Carolina, and so that gives the edge, and they have the momentum at this point in time to Carolina. But like I said, that just the comparison in quarterbacks and Jaden Daniels and Andy Dalton. And it's not me taking away anything from either of those players. It's just they are two different football players. It's like comparing Lamar to I don't know, Tom Brady, right? They both know how to beat you, but they're not going to beat you the same way. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
And so the Bengals do have a very good chance to go get a big road win here. And at this point in time, any win is big for them. So yes, this is a big road win to get it. This is every game is the rest of their season at this point. And so, yeah, I do have faith, but if they let me down, I will officially throw in the towel.
Here's the best part. At this point, I just can't afford to worry about it anymore.
I mean, I'm actively been rooting for them. They did look good against the Commanders, despite falling a little short. But we'll move on to the next. Good luck to your Bengals. Good luck to Andy Dalton. I hope he just has fun, because that's all he really cares about at this point in his career, is having fun. And so, yeah, this is where I'm at too. Like, if this guy specifically was not a Bengals fan, I would be actively rooting against them right now, because Andy Dalton, I'm all in on him right now. But I do like this Bengals squad. I think they've got a lot of talent that's just not all gotten to be shown yet this year. Moving on to the next. This one, I just hate this game for a number of reasons, but we've got the LA Rams heading to Chicago, take on the Bears. Give me Sean McVay. I hate the Bears, and you can take the mic.
Yeah, I'm going to actively beat myself in the skull, but I'm going to go against that. The Rams are beat up.
Wow.
They just came off an emotional home win, and then they go back on the road. I don't think they can muster a big road win. I hope they do. I'm a Rams homer. I just feel like the Bears are going to win.
That's disgusting.
Listen, I hate them. I don't like them. I don't like Caleb Williams. I just think their defense is good enough to help them get the win at home.
I think that's completely fair, but I'm taking Kyron Williams over Caleb Williams any day. I like that Williams a lot better.
We'll see. I'm just saying, I gotta.
It's very bold of you, but it's also respectable of you because you are a home team guy.
I'm a home team guy, but I love the Rams. I love the Rams grit. I just feel like they're going to be spent after what they spent coming back against the Niners. Just because they beat the Niners at home doesn't mean they're going to travel well, and they still got so many injuries. And that defensive line for Chicago is really good.
Shout out to the Chicago defense. That's the one thing I consistently do like about that team. And I feel like over the years, even when they had down years, there's guys over there that I do like. But yeah, no, I applaud you for doing that. I cannot. I just can't, because I just don't believe. I believe in Matty Stafford. I don't know. I feel like you right now.
I love Matt Stafford.
If this was any other universe, I'd be taking the Bears and you'd be taking the Rams. But for whatever reason, nothing makes sense this season. So we're just going to keep rolling with that, I guess. Moving on to the next game. This is going to be kind of an exciting matchup. We've got the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Vikings sitting pretty at 3-0 right now. And Green Bay, they just keep winning.
Yeah, this is, I think, is probably the best matchup in the early games on Sunday for sure. I'm very stoked to pick this one. I love the job that Kevin O'Connell's doing. I love the fact that Sam Darnold is playing up to his potential, that he never got the opportunity to play up against his potential before. But there's something that's very special going on in Green Bay right now, and the team is playing as a team, and I really feel like they're going to get the home dub.
I really, really thought you were going to lean Minnesota. I thought about this one for a long time. I think the right decision is taking Minnesota, but I'm also going to take Green Bay at home. I don't know what it is about them, but their defense is playing the best football I've seen in 3 years out of Green Bay. And offensively, they just keep finding ways. And dude, once again, I said this literally last night. Hats off to Matt LaFleur. Like, I can't applaud that man any more than I've already been applauding him. Like, hats off to that dude. He has got to be one of the best head coaches in the league.
You know, the coaching in the NFC North has gotten pretty damn good.
What's the word on Love being back for this game? He was practicing today. I think he had pads on today, to be honest. I saw a little bit, and so I don't know. But either way, something is special is brewing in Green Bay. I don't know if it's a new strand of cheese or new line of beer, but something special that they're going to name after Matt LaFleur this year. And so give me the Pack at home. You know, they let one in Philly get away from them, and they're just a couple plays away from being 3-0 right now. And that's with a backup quarterback in 2 weeks. I just believe. It's got nothing to do with the team. It's all about the coach right now. For a while, and I think it was because of Aaron Rodgers, I didn't believe in him.
Listen, I think that defense is so opportunistic. They're going to take what you give them back, and they're going to make you pay for it. They get stops when they need to. They just know when to turn it up, and I applaud that. Do I think Minnesota might have a overall better roster? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I do, actually.
I just for some reason have faith in Green Bay at home.
I'm with you. I really thought this was where we were really gonna split, but I didn't think it was gonna be the Rams and Bears game. I thought it was gonna be this one. I'm kind of like nervous about picking the Packers because you feel the same way I do right now, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
usually not a good thing. That's usually not a good thing because I have a lot of bad ideas, but I saw a lot to believe in. Especially, you can say what you want about the Titans, right? You can say what you want about the Colts, and you can say what you want about Philadelphia because, like I said, they were a couple plays away from being 3-0. Yeah, so but they're a pretty solid football team that's it kind of feels like the Texans from last year. I don't know why. Something is weird. But anyway, go Packers. If the Vikings win, go Vikings. They'll be 4-0. Like, that'd be crazy too. Either outcome is crazy and good, so I'm happy with it. Moving on to the next, we got an AFC South showdown. 0-3 Jags, who just got the brakes beat off of them by Buffalo, heading to the Texans, who just got the brakes beat off of them as well. And this is the one time I'm going to. No, I'm not. I'm going to take the Texans at home. I was going to say that, but I feel like this is a very good game for the Jags to win. Right, both teams are kind of vulnerable, and
So
I'm really torn. I'm torn.
Let me tell you what I think.
Let's hear
If there was ever a scenario where I would take an 0-3 team against a 2-1 team that has the potential, it is right here.
So okay, so I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy for feeling that.
So Trevor Lawrence has been inconsistent. Travis Etienne has been a solid running back. The defense is up and down. The offense is up and down. Nobody really knows which way they're going, but they're going to get their stuff together at some point. It could be this weekend at Houston because everybody feels like these divisional games are so tight, and I think the Jags have an edge against the Texans. But I love C.J. Stroud. I love Tank Dell. I love their whole mindset and team camaraderie. I love the way they get it, and I still think that they're not going to lose another game like that, like they just lost at home. Give me the Texans too. But man, if you wanted
you just went through identical thought process I did. I started talking and I'm like, yeah, and then I said, no, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I can't do it.
I can honestly come up with reasons for both teams to win this game. The Jaguars running game is going to be important. I still think the Texans are going to get the win.
I was this close, and then the more words that came out of my mouth, the further away I got from actually doing it. I was very close. Now watch Jacksonville come in here and blow the absolute brakes off the
I
Texans.
am going to bet on Jacksonville winning this game.
I'm going to too. I'm picking the Texans. It's the right thing to do, and I'd rather see the Texans win anyway. So I don't feel bad about not picking the Jags, but I probably will put money on the Jags. Let's be real. What's up, Johnny? Moving on to the next one. This is a good matchup, terrible week. We've got the Steelers sitting at 3-0, heading to take on the Colts, who just got their first win of the year last week against the Bears.
Listen, this is the one where I think we're going to differ. Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson, I think are playing better. I think that
Yes.
offense has got a lot of pieces and it's getting better. The defense is playing better. But right now, Pittsburgh's defense is playing elite. Justin Fields is serviceable and not turning the ball over. Give me Pittsburgh on the road.
Man, I really I've spent like 2 or 3 days thinking about this game. Like, as soon as the Colts versus Bears game ended, I started thinking about this game, and it hasn't lifted. And I really want to rock with the home team here. I really do, but I just can't. Because it's Young versus whatever nightmare is on that Steelers D line. Whatever they're feeding them boys is nightmare fuel. Like,
Listen, there is ground up nuts and bolts in their Wheaties, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, they are not human. TJ Watt is not a human, and so as much as it hurts, genuinely hurts, I'm also gonna take the Steelers here. I wanted to, and I when I first made these picks, I started with taking the Colts because I think they can win this game, but it is going to be the ugliest game of their entire career, and it's going to be the hardest thing they've ever had to do to get a win. And so I give them the edge of they can do it. It's just will they? And I got to put faith in the experience over a banged up defense and a semi rookie quarterback. I hope the Colts win. I'm tired of watching Pittsburgh win, but I'm not going to pick against them until they give me a matchup that I truly believe can combat against that defense.
Tune in next week.
Right. Moving on to the next, this is the game I got a lot to talk about. We got the Denver Broncos. You should have known that I had a lot to talk about on this one. Heading to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The Broncos, they beat the Bucs last week in Tampa Bay. All right. You know what? There, I said it. It happened. Whatever.
Every donkey has its day.
You know what? Listen, I'm taking the Jets. Let's put that on the table. There's no surprise. I'm taking the Jets. One, because they're the better football team. And two, I don't think Bo Nix can carry them to 2 road wins in a row. Like, I think that's fair. That's a non-hater statement to be said. He's still a rookie, okay? As much as I don't like him, he's still a rookie. But my only thought about this game is what better time to play your backup quarterback in Zach Wilson against his former team in the Jets, because if Zach Wilson was playing, I'd be picking the Broncos to beat the Jets this week.
Females are emotional creatures.
You are literally the worst.
This
guy is the only reason Denver can go into Jersey and beat the Jets. But give me Aaron Rodgers. Their defense is good enough. Their defense is great, actually. Zach is spelled with an H, by the way, mostly, but I know what you're saying.
Nobody knows that.
I literally show him up on a screen once a week. So you all should know that. It's not my fault nobody pays attention to me. No, but I'm my real points. I just wanted to be dramatic for 5 seconds. But my real points is I don't think a rookie quarterback is going to play 2 tough defenses in a row on the road and get a win both times.
I agree with you. I think
All biasy aside.
I agree with you. And going into New York is I think this is going to be an ugly game though. I think it's going to be like 17-14 or 14-10. It's going to be something like that because both defenses are very good. But you got to give the edge to Breece Hall and the Jets being able to run the rock a little bit. Aaron Rodgers makes a few timely passes and they get the win.
I think the run game has looked better for the Jets so far in the season than it has for Denver as well.
I am praying for Javonte Williams to get back to form.
But, I mean, how awesome would it be to see Zach Wilson come in here and play against his former team that threw him to the Wolves?
I think you're the only person that really wants to see that.
Yes, I am. Probably his mama, too. That's my boy, okay? Look, I just want to see him play once this year, and I don't want it to be due to a Bo Nix injury. Like, I just want to watch him play football. I was so ecstatic when they said they were going to trade him, and then they were like, oh, he traded him to Denver, and I was like, oh, shot me straight in the heart, okay? Like, it shot me straight in the heart. I was gasping for air, and I'm choking on my own blood. And then they drafted a rookie quarterback, and I was like, he still has a chance. That's an old-timer old-timey head coach. She still has a chance to play. Like, I don't care where he ended up. I just wanted to watch him play football, okay? Like, I just wanted to see this guy get another chance away from the Jets. And I thought Denver was the perfect opportunity. And then they drafted Bo Nix. Now I'm salty about it. But yes, I do like how Alex calls the Jets and Giants New Jersey. I think they should be. You know, Buffalo's the only New York team, and they're the only ones that play like a New York team. So I'm going to keep doing it. Also, for the record, mostly, I don't even know my own blood type. So, no, I don't know Zach Wilson's blood type. Is Morgan Moses out? I believe that I read that today. He's either questionable or doubtful, and I know that's a terrible update, but I didn't read too far into it, but I did see that today. I don't think he's going to play. Let's go, Buffalo. Moving on to the next, we got this is a kind of interesting matchup. We've got the Philadelphia Eagles heading to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Eagles kind of snuck past the Saints, right? Like, it wasn't a full out convincing win. The Bucs, we just talked about the Bucs. They're the one team that made me more mad last week than any team all season long, except for the Titans in week 1. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first. That's what I'm gonna do.
So yeah, the theme of the year is that these are two of the grittiest teams in the NFC. Jalen Hurts plays very gritty football, and so does Baker. And the defenses are both really gritty. I look at this game and I feel like Tampa Bay was embarrassed by their loss last week to Denver.
I'm embarrassed for them.
I think that really was kind of a wake-up call. I think they may have overlooked them a little bit going into that game, and that is the reason why they got beat. They will not overlook the talent of this Eagles team. And by the way, they destroyed this very same team the last time they met in the playoffs last year. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I kind of thought over this one, and last week both teams were kind of beat down with injury. The Eagles and the Buccaneers last week. The Eagles did squeak by New Orleans, but unfortunately, the Bucs look bad. I think their starting left tackle, or no, sorry, let me rephrase. Starting right tackle is cleared concussion protocol, so they're going to have a starter back on their offensive line in this game, which I think is going to be huge. And also, I feel like this is one of those games you're going to expect to be super exciting, and it's going to be super gritty and grindy instead. It's going to be a Steelers game. Um, I'm going to take the Bucs at home too. Not because I don't believe in Philadelphia, but who knows if they're going to have AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith's probably going to be still in concussion protocol like by the time of this game. So we're going to see if Jalen Hurts can actually be him without both of his top two receivers potentially. And I don't know. I think the Bucs O-line is going to be better, which is going to let Baker breathe a little bit, which was a big problem last week. So yeah, I'm gonna ride with you and take the Bucs at home. This was one of those picks that I haven't at any point changed my mind from the time that I picked them to now that I'm making my final decision. Like I have had the Bucs pick the whole time, but I do think the Eagles should win this game. But you're right, I just don't think they're getting embarrassed 2 weeks in a row at home.
No, ma'am.
Moving on to the next. This one I think is going to be fun. And I'm curious what you're going to have to say about it. But we've got the Commanders heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. I think this is a fun game.
Yeah, this is my true toss-up game. My first inclination was to say, after the Commanders put forth such a stellar win on Monday Night Football, that they would have a letdown going 3,000 miles to the west. And that would be my normal MO and pick the Cardinals. But I'm going to go against my grain here, and I'm going to say that they're going to continue riding that high with 11 straight scoring drives in a row to a Cardinals defense that is a little up and down at times. If they play a little up and down against this offense, they're going to march right down the field and score. Give me the Comanches on the road.
The Commanders haven't punted in 2 weeks.
That's what I mean.
That's just crazy. It's crazy. Now, granted, the week before last, they only kicked 6 field goals or 7 field goals, but they didn't punt at all in that game. So, Tress Way, my favorite punter in the league, has had to do nothing in almost 3 weeks. But yeah, this was a toss-up for me. I almost took the Cardinals as the more experienced team, but I think if Cincinnati can't beat them, then I don't think the Cardinals can. I think Cincinnati's a better football team than the Cardinals are. Not saying that there's anything wrong with the Cardinals, but I do think Cincinnati is better than them. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I'm a lot harsher on NFC teams than AFC teams naturally because I feel like they're a very weak conference compared to the AFC. But I think this is going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be fun. Do I think the Commanders are due for a letdown? Probably. They do have a rookie quarterback, but that rookie quarterback happens to be my guy this year, and I'm going to keep riding with him. I didn't get to pick him last week because I thought I was going to get let down, and he just found a way to impress me even more than I already was. And so this might be game of the week, but I'm going to take the Commanders as well to continue to roll. This is last year's Texans. We said it in August, and it still feels true.
Yeah, I believe that. I can make a strong argument for the Cardinals to win if somebody wants to hear it, but I don't want to make it.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely do that too. All right, moving on to the next. We got a really ugly game. We've got the New England Patriots coming off a beatdown, heading to take on San Francisco that choked away a game, and now their whole team's injured. Go ahead.
I don't like New England.
You said, that's exactly how I feel.
I don't like New England traveling that far west. I do like San Fran's defense to hold New England to very little points. I think Brock Purdy, back injury and all, can throw a few passes to Brandon Ayuk or Jawan Jennings, and I still think that Jordan Mason's going to continue to carry the torch. Give me the Niners, no problem.
Now, I'm going to be real with you. I'm not going to do it, but I do have a full argument why I think the Patriots can win this game. But I'm going to save everybody's time, and I'm just going to agree with you and take the 49ers at home because it's the right thing to do. These two teams play literally on opposite ends of the country of each other. It's a lot of travel. But the Patriots did have a couple extra days of rest due to playing on Thursday Night Football. So I do think that benefits them a little bit in terms of this travel. But yeah, give me the 49ers. If the Patriots win, I don't feel bad about it though because the Patriots kind of suck and the 49ers, should have won last week. Just plain and simple, they should have won last week.
Yeah, Morgan Moses is out this week for whoever was asking.
Yeah, it was a Phillip Rivers throwing motion who asked. It's my favorite username on YouTube. Yeah, that's gonna be an ugly game. It's gonna be of no interest to anybody but the fan bases involved, and I'm not sure how interesting it is to either of them either. So I don't know. Moving on to the next. This one is interesting as well. We've got the Cleveland Browns traveling to take on the Vegas Raiders. Both teams sitting at 1-2. One of them just lost to the Giants, and the other one just lost to the Panthers, who last week we were talking about those two teams fighting over the number 1 overall draft pick, and now we're not so sure. So I'll go first. Give me the Raiders at home. If the Cleveland can't win at home, I don't trust them to win on the road. So I know the Vegas just lost at home, but Andy Dalton is not. Andy Dalton did what no quarterback has done all season, in that game. And so that's hard. There's a lot of drama going on in Vegas, but I still think they're going to bounce back and get the dub here.
Yeah, I think it's a good call. I don't look at the offenses in this game because they're both kind of non-existent and lethargic. But I do look at the defenses and how many times Deshaun Watson's been sacked. He's holding on to the ball too long. They don't have no running game. They need a running game on the road. For all of those reasons, give me the Raiders going away.
I think offensively right now, the Raiders are better than the Browns also.
Sure.
I mean, they've got two big young tight ends that can block and can catch. They've got Devontae. They've got all the pieces. It's just they got to string it all together.
And regardless of what you think about him, Alexander Madison is better than anything that the Browns have at the moment.
Yeah, who is it? Jerome Ford? I don't even know who else is running the football over there. So, who knows? Moving on to the next. Also, good luck, Raiders. I've given you a lot of crap the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks, sorry. And so, good luck this week. Get the dub. Can we please get rid of Deshaun Watson now? I'm tired of watching that team. I'm just tired of watching him. I don't know what it is. I'm just over it. But we got the Chiefs heading to LA to take on the Chargers, and we did officially elevate Kareem Hunt for this game, which I'm pretty excited to see that man back in red. I'm gonna be short and sweet because I'd rather listen to what you have to say. Divisional matchups make me nervous, but divisional matchups against the Chargers make me double nervous. And this Chargers team's absolutely decimated with injuries, so for whatever reason, I'm taking the Chiefs, but it's going to be a stupid, even if Herbert doesn't play, it's going to be stupid close. It's going to be like 17-14, and I'm going to be holding on to the edge of my seat because they don't know how to blow opponents out and when they could. And also, we play stupid against the Chargers.
You do play stupid against the Chargers, and this is the ideal spot for Kansas City to take the loss. But with Justin Herbert being at a less percentage than 100, dealing with a high ankle sprain, which is not the best injury for a quarterback to play with, I'm taking the Chiefs on the road. and just going to bite the bullet if they lose.
Yeah, this is you never want to talk about your own team like this, but this feels like the week of a letdown. And I've been feeling it. I've been thinking it ever since I've been watching these. There's going to be no Derwin James. He got a 1-game suspension. Herbert may or may not play. I think Joey Bosa's injured. Everybody on this team's injured, and I don't like the looks of it. But the one thing, and that everyone calls me crazy every year for saying this, I feel more confident in a Chiefs versus Chargers matchup in LA than I do in Kansas City. For whatever reason, it's always true. We play them better on the road than we do at home. But I still think it's gonna be like 17-14 or 17-13. It's going to be a very bum game, and it's not gonna be fun. But I have no doubt that we can make it to 4-0. But I'm mentally already prepared for a letdown just in case J.K. Dobbins decides to ruin my life.
He could.
It would be just him, probably no one else, but he very well could. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. This is a really good matchup, actually. We've got the Bills that are literally steamrolling Cats, sitting at 3-0, traveling to Baltimore, who just got a huge bounce back win against the Cowboys. Almost choked it away, but they didn't. And yeah, this is a good matchup, a good test for both of these teams, a real test for both teams.
Yeah, I have no problems going first on this one either. Both teams are pretty equal in my eyes as far as talent goes. The Ravens' defense has been kind of suspect here lately, and I'm not sure why. Although they had fairly decent corner play, they've been struggling in the middle of the field, and that's usually where they're strongest at with their linebackers. But all that being said, I like the way the Bills' offense is rolling. The Ravens were some choke artists 2 weeks in a row. They let the Raiders beat them at home. If the Raiders can beat them in Baltimore, then I know the Bills can. Give me Josh Allen and the Bills.
Was that Raiders game in Baltimore?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I did not even realize that. Let me look.
Yes.
I believe you. No, it wasn't. It was in. Oh, I got the names mixed up. You're right.
Yes.
Sorry. My apologies. Look, see, this is how you apologize to somebody. You need to learn because you've insulted me 3 times today already. But I like to concur with you, or I like to go separate ways with you just to do it sometimes. And this is one of those times. It's just to do it. And also, I'm ready to see Buffalo lose a football game. They're rolling too high. I don't like it. They're looking scary. And my team looks bad. And so I think Baltimore is not going to lose 2 home games in a row. And they're going to stand tall. They're going to bring the energy. I think this is one of those games that nothing that we watch on Sunday night's going to make any sense. So I'm going to take the Ravens to win like 18-14, and it's a game that's not going to make any sense whatsoever. Give me the home team to get the dub on Sunday Night Football just to slow the Bills down a little bit. Right now, the Bills look like the best team in football. I'll say it. They might be the best team in football. Josh Allen's going to get his first interception this week off a tipped pass. I'm just salty I didn't win my bet last week. It's his fault. But yeah, every now and then I have to differentiate with you to differentiate. I think both answers are the right answer. The home team or the best team in football. The home team, who usually puts on a good home showing, maybe they're going to ride the wave with Derrick Henry and what they did in Dallas. Not talking about the fourth quarter, but the rest of the game, build upon that. They held Dallas to 3 points for 3 quarters or something like that. So it's possible to slow this Buffalo team down. Then at some point, every good team gets ahead of themselves and trips over their own footing. And this feels like the perfect opportunity for that to happen.
I hope it happens next week.
I know. I know you need Baltimore to lose right now. I get that. I need Buffalo to slow down a little bit. So I respect where you're thinking, though. I do like the Bills. Shout out to them for proving all of us wrong. Literally everybody so far through 3 weeks. And moving on to the next, we've got another Monday night doubleheader.
Thank God we have 2 games.
I don't know. I don't know. The first game, we've got the 0-3 Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans, I guess, heading to Miami to take on the Tua-less Dolphins. I'm going to go quick. I still don't believe in Will Levis. This is the game to pick them. This should be the game for them to win. Miami doesn't even know who's going to start at quarterback in this game, so it looks like they're supposed to lose, and that's exactly why I'm going to pick them to get back to 500.
Yeah, I don't have the same feelings. I think Brian Callahan comes up with a game plan where Will Levis does not throw the ball to the opposing players more than he does his own. I think they will find a way to run the ball, and Skylar Thompson or Tyler Huntley or whoever the other third quarterback is there. I can't even think of his name, former Jet, whatever.
Give the old man a win.
There's no way the Fins are getting the win in this one. The Titans defense will be better because Will Levis will not turn over the ball. Give me Tennessee on the road.
Tennessee should win this game. Hands down. But I have had a very strong feeling about a lot of home teams this week that have a good chance of losing games. And so I'm going to continue the trend.
When we're done with this week, it marks something that I've never done before.
All right, we'll get right back to that because we only got one left. We got the 3-0 Seattle Seahawks, who just beat the Miami Dolphins last week, traveling to Detroit, who got a bounce back win against the Cardinals.
Going to the Motor City. Jared Goff and that offensive line are going to be better.
Jared Goofy
and that offensive line are going to be better than Geno and them Seahawks on the road. Seahawks have played very well, admirable football, but sooner or later their reign has got to come to an end, and it comes to end in the Motor City because this game is important, and Dan Campbell is not going to F it up.
So you're taking the Lions?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to take the Seahawks, and this is not because I want to differ with you. I had this pick made prior to time of 60 seconds ago, and I'm going to tell you why. If you go back to the last couple meetings between these guys, and one of them even was Geno Smith versus Jared Goff, it was a shootout, and I don't know. In Seattle, in Detroit, for whatever reason, I'm giving the Seahawks one more week. And not any knock on the Lions because I love that football team. Like, I absolutely love that football team. But their play has been more than disappointing, even the games they're winning. Except for in week 1. The last 2 weeks, they went 1-1, and both of those games were very disappointing. Something's not right there. I'm not sure what it is. I know they're going to bounce back, but I'm just going to, because I couldn't make a decision on my own, I went to the history charts for this one, and the history chart says take Seattle, and so Seattle goes to 4-0 on my books. I want the Lions to win, though. Half my fantasy team are Lions. I don't know. That one's a toss-up to me.
Hey, I agree. It probably is a toss-up. So in that instance, Take the home team.
Yeah, that's what I did with the Dolphins. I figured I should spice it up since we got 2 Monday night games and not do the same thing twice.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We had some differentiating. This is the most road
Some of the
team.
ones that we differentiated are not the ones I thought we were gonna.
It's amazing, right? We both are adapting a little bit.
Did you pick the tiebreaker? Yeah, I put 50. What's 28 plus 23?
28 plus 23, 51.
Yeah, 51. That's what I put as my tiebreaker points this week.
I got the tiebreaker at 58.
Yeah, well, I think it was for the Lions and Seahawks game, and I put 51 because that's my final score in my head. It's not going to be the shootout that it was last time, like 38-35, but the defenses are better now than they were then. Quarterbacks are the same, but the defenses are better, so I put a little bit less points. So 28-23 sounded appropriate to me for that game, no matter who wins. And so that's how I got my number of 51.
So this marks the first time I've ever picked 7 teams on the road to win.
Well, you almost got over half.
I never do that.
I do it a lot.
I'm usually right at 5 road teams per week, 4 month. But this week I ended up with 7.
That's impressive for you. Like, honestly,
I believe in home field advantage. Yes.
I believe in home field advantage too, but then there's the guys who don't know how to perform at home when they're supposed to.
Yeah, some of the big disparaging ones this week is like the fan base that have picked thus far has 71% of Eagles fans. I really found that one surprising. 61% Rams fans.
Yeah, I
Found
picked
that
against some
surprising.
heavy percentages this week. Like the
Uh,
Packers won, the Vikings were a lot heavier. I know the Dolphins were 61%, which was high.
yeah. How do you get that kind of a pick? 61% for the Dolphins that can't throw the ball 30 yards right now. I mean, I feel like
But
that's
let's go back to what you just said. I believe in home team advantage.
yes, I do. But sometimes a team that's in a bad spot's a team that's in a bad spot.
No, I get that. I do. But I've seen bad teams win games they're not supposed to.
If Carson Wentz was starting for Miami right now in this game, would you pick Miami at home?
I probably still would pick Miami at home. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well, I think he's a much better option than what they have.
home team on prime time. They're really going to need the fan base on their side to help push them through the 12th man, and if Skylar Thompson plays, I've seen him, do bad things, but I've also seen him do good things for this organization. They got a good offense. They got a good run game. They've got fast receivers. All you got to do is not turn the ball over. They went to Seattle last week. I picked against them because playing in Seattle is hard for anybody. Whether Seattle's good or not, it's hard playing there because of the 12th man. And so, I knew they weren't going to be able to win that football game. I mean, they could have any given Sunday, but I feel a lot more comfortable with them in their own city with their own fans and having a lot more support, a bigger support system going into this one. And they're going up against a relatively young quarterback who has lost 3 games in a row for them. And eventually he's going to either get benched or he's going to turn the page and move forward, but asking a guy like that to go up on the big stage, even if it's an opponent he should win against, it's a lot of pressure because a lot of people are mad at him right now. So he's got a lot on his plate.
Can since we've gotten through our picks, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Can we close our stream with a Pizzle raid?
Is Pizzle live?
Yes.
Oh my god, hang on. Did you hear that?
Was that your dog?
No, I downloaded a soundboard yesterday and I accidentally hit one of the keys. I got I didn't know if you could hear that or not, but I got a trombone too. Yeah, I forgot I was playing with that at like 4 o'clock this morning. Hang on, let me pull up the piddle.
I got it.
Well, I want to be present.
Well, I posted it in the chat for everybody else.
Where is he? Do you like that soundboard?
Yeah, I do.
Just all right, let's do it right now. Oh shit.
Are we raiding?
Yep. The O and the L are my two keys. Go get him!
Oh!
Let's go! We don't normally raid on Wednesdays. He said, hell yeah. We love that bro, man. Yeah, let's go. The New York Football Giants is what he said. They just called MetLife Meth Life.
Meth Life Stadium. That's hilarious.
All right. You know what? That was definitely worth it. I forgot that they go on at about 10, so they probably just started like a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Appreciate you all. Yeah, so we're about to close it down. That's officially our first Wednesday raid ever. And we love Pizzle. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. Give him a thumbs up if you haven't. The link is right here. Burdens, appreciate you, bro. Your Raiders gonna get the dub this week. At least I believe in it. But you doing Thursday night? Yeah, we'll be here for that crap show tomorrow. Right?
I'm in and out. I have my other
Okay.
stuff to do.
He is gonna abandon me throughout that crap show.
For an hour or so, yes. Mainly through halftime.
Dude, each quarter is going to feel like 6 hours. So that's like 24 hours of one football game. But yeah, we'll be here. I'll be actively rooting for the Giants to get the upset, but we might be staring at a 45-3 blowout by the first quarter. So we'll see. See that for the worst game of the year. See, everybody knows like this game. We need to start a petition. I need to DM Tom Grossi because he's got the power. We need to start a petition for the NFL to stop putting Cowboys versus Giants games on prime time.
It should be against the law.
It should be illegal. Honestly, the Cowboys versus anybody in their division not named the Eagles on prime time should be illegal. Nobody wants to see it. The Cowboys aren't America's team anymore. Like, we're done with that. They just lost 2 in a row, and now everybody's going to get wound up about this. I don't care. You don't care. This whole chat doesn't care. Nobody wants to watch it. Grossi should have the pull for that. That's what I'm saying. We all need to reach out to that guy and tell him to please.
I mean, even Dallas fans really don't want to watch Dallas play on Thursday night.
No, they do, just because it's usually a blowout, and they love that their team likes to pad stats in second halves of games of blowouts. They live for it, and especially after the last 2 weeks they've had, this is exactly what they want right now.
Now, you know what? I hope the Giants win. I will
Oh,
laugh.
I'm going to be. I wish I had a Giants jersey. I'd put that thing on for tomorrow, but I don't know how I never ended up with an Eli jersey or nothing. Like, well, I need to go find me a $10 one on some, old website or something because I probably could find one. That's where I got my Cam Newton one for like $5.
Cam Newton, $5.
I just love the footage of the Cowboys fans plowing into the stadium for the Packers playoff game last year. I remember that. Good times. Cheers to them Packers, man. Cheers to them Packers. But we're going to close this thing down. We had a good hour with you guys. We appreciate you all for kicking it with us. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good jazz. Show your support. We appreciate it so much. Help us get to 2,500. Hopefully soon. And make sure you get into our CBS Pick'em. Check out our socials if you feel inclined to do so. It's all in the description. And I'm going to hand the mic. Here it is. To Papa Blood for any last words.
I don't have any last words, but yes. No, also, let's get fired back up in the Discord again. We haven't been playing in there as much as we should.
Oh, yeah, the Discord. I never really mentioned that. And I'd spent on the gaming channel last night. We were all kind of talking about the Discord a little bit. We need to bring some life back in there. But also, Phillip Rivers throwing motion. My heart goes out to you, my guy. My favorite account on YouTube.
Go Pack Go.
He said, go Pack Go. But that's all. We're closing us down. Check out the description. See if there's anything that catches your eye. And we will see you guys back here tomorrow night, a little after 8 o'clock Eastern, to kick off Thursday night football and have the night of our lives together. Much love, everybody. Until next time, see ya!